Hi, Theresa. I hope this is finding you well. I have already gone ahead and done my whole spiel that I do. I call in a bunch of people prior to my readings, I call them people, but they're my spirit guides and angels and entities, mythical creatures, people of other alien, alien races that I connect with. That come in to help me usher in the messages from the divine. So instead of wasting your time, I just do it ahead of time before I hit record. So we are asking today, spirit guides and angels, those who are aligned with source, love, and light, what messages do you have for Theresa? What messages do you have for her on her journey? Interesting. Five of Cups and the Judgment card came out, which is sorrow. It has to do with sorrow and disappointment, but having to go over karma or something that isn't tied up, or some kind of loose ends with another person in your life. Perhaps you have to go over certain things that are not finished, but that brings you a certain level of disappointment and sorrow, or the situation itself causes you disappointment, sorrow, or the person that you're dealing with could perhaps be experiencing those emotions as well. Thank you. Okay. So we're doing a Celtic cross spread, a 10-card Celtic cross spread here. So this is the significator of your reading. Okay. What's crossing you? The Knight of Wands. So the Nine of Wands and then the Knight of Wands. That's going to be a little bit of a tongue twister. I'm going to have to enunciate really well when I'm talking about those cards. What crowns you? The Five of Wands. What is beneath you? The Four of Wands. Wow. Behind you, the Seven of Cups. Before you, Temperance. Ooh, there's a lot coming through for you already. Okay. You right now, the Star, your environment, the people around you, generally speaking, everything that is outside of you is the Two of Swords. Here's this Judgment card. It wanted to come through in your hopes and fears. That was significant that popped out. And then your outcome is the Ace of Swords. Okay. So let me just kind of... I have so much on my desk, I don't have room for my cards. But we'll just try to make the best of it. Three of Swords is at the bottom of the deck. Okay. So I'm talking... there is a lot coming through in regards to heartache right now. There's a lot coming through in regards to defense of yourself, defense of the people in your life, defense of... It's like there's like a fighting going on. There's bickering, there's fighting, there's choices, there's lack of wanting to make choices, there's being in your head too much and not being so action oriented here, except when it comes to fighting. What's crowning you is there's a lot of hostility in your current environment, be it at home, work, whatever the case may be, but there's a lot coming through when it comes to arguments, and also the Five of Wands being competition. So there is some kind of competition right now going on, whether you're in competition or somebody in your environment is in competition. that kind of that competitive ego stuff that can lead to a lot of fighting is going on in your environment, or is going on around you, or in front of you, or in lieu of you, with you, whatever the case, right? So that stood out to me, to just the fact that Three of Swords is here on the bottom of the deck, and then we have this crazy amount of like hostility and defensiveness going on. The whole thing about this reading that I'm seeing so far is this is a big change of life that you're heading into. They're wanting me to tell you that you are coming upon it's like you're in survival mode almost in your current life. That the good news here is that there is success when you understand or see that a certain situation in your life is no longer serving you. So right now, you're in the middle of looking at your life in this, like, what do I do kind of energy. You have the Seven of Chalices behind you, which is a lot of options. So there have been a lot of options, or a lot of mulling over, a lot of choices, decisions, things that you kind of kept you were in a cycle with, almost like, so you stayed still and you didn't know what to choose or what to do. So you're kind of trying to make the best of a certain situation right now by, in a way, kind of appeasing everybody else instead of appeasing yourself. Okay, so I don't know if there is a fire sign that you're connected to, or if this is you. The Knight of Wands can be an Aries, a Leo, or a Sagittarius. And if there is somebody in your environment that is also a fire sign like you, then this can speak about them, but this can also speak about you. And when the Nine of Wands is crossed by the Knight of Wands, to me, this signifies that there is something that is taking off in your life. Okay, something really positive that hasn't happened for you in a really long time. It's something you have your eye on. It's a success. It's a goal that's reaching success in your life. But the way that you have been maintaining it is like you have a vision for it, but you haven't really been as action-oriented with it as possible. Like, it's like you have this whole idea of what you want, and you have this huge, like, broad outlook on it, but you haven't been putting the energy into moving that forward, and like doing something about it and making it a reality. So what's happening here is that you are getting an impetus. And my readings can span anywhere over the next 6 months to a year. You are going to be getting an impetus, this nudge, this incredible vivacious boost of energy with this Knight of Wands here to do something about your life. Or somebody in your environment that is a fire sign is going to help this along, or is going to be could be a help, could be a hinder, okay? It could be a help, it could be a hinder. There is a person, I feel, that is standing in your way of success. And that's why I don't know if this Knight of Wands is you standing in your own way, or if it's an actual person that is a fire sign or a male of some kind, standing in your way. The Three of Swords means that there is heartache. It's fresh, it's disappointing, it's new. There are so many odd numbers here. 7, 9, 5, 3. All of these odd numbers here mean that you are going through tremendous changes in your life, Theresa. And right now, you're at like this, it's like a crux, right? There's this thing going on, and you're not exactly sure how to handle it. And you know that there are some things that have been standing in your way, or some people that have been standing in your way, or a person that has been standing in your way in your environment that you need to eliminate or move out of the way somehow, because you visualize them being out of the way. You visualize this person moving over in some capacity to give you space so that you can design your life the way that you want it to be. However, this isn't happening. It's not been happening, okay? But moving forward into the future, I see you balancing yourself. Now, if this knight is not a person in your life, and this is you standing in your own way, Spirit is saying to you that you need to be on a track towards meditating, taking care, even if that's not, it's not necessarily the meditating that we all know, or you know. You can actually do what is called active meditation, like working out or going for walks. Doing stuff like that is also a form of meditation because it's slowing the mind down. And there's a lot of these cards here that signify that there's so much going on in your head. So it's important that you learn, temperance is right in front of you. And what this card is also saying is that it's incredibly important for you to learn how to take one part of your life and another part of your life and mix them together so that they can work harmoniously. And it's almost like a brand new life. Like the life that you knew before and the life that you're visualizing for yourself in the future need to somehow come together and merge to create this like integration, so that you can live harmoniously and balanced. And everybody in your environment will live harmoniously and will be on the track towards a new normal. Because what you're trying to do here is somebody in your environment is trying to make something stick or make a shoe fit that doesn't fit anymore. And you're trying to say, I can't play along with this anymore. I have to move forward. I have to be me. I have to do what I love to do. I'm not incredibly happy. I also see you not being completely fulfilled in your work environment, though there aren't a lot of pentacles here. Well, any pentacles here. So there's no work that's coming up here. This is relationship focused. But what I'm saying to you is that your creativity is going to be skyrocketing. And I don't know if that means creative in your personal life or your work life, but you are urged to put your talents and your creative juices and whatever it is that you love to do, your passions, into something that is more fruitful for you in the long, like something that you can strive for, that'll give you the outcome that you're looking for, okay? And this is like a lot in your foundation is very cool. I want to commend you for having to live with all this stuff here. And then beneath you right now is the Four of Wands, which is celebration. It's a happy, momentous occasion. It is also the sign of the twin flame soulmate. The Four of Wands speaks to somebody that you have been developing with, or that somebody that is in a position of support to you. Because four is always signified to me the support. It's it's structure. So there's somebody that's offering you a great deal of structure, or that you yourself are developing a great deal of structure within yourself right now. And that speaks to the Temperance being before you cross, and the Four of Wands in connection. You're letting go of an indecisive behavior that you've had. You're letting go of this all in my head, no action. And you are starting to put action into motion here. And you are wanting very much to be in a balanced position, to be in the right mind to make the decisions physically that you want to. And you're getting yourself straight. You're getting yourself in the right order for yourself. You're getting yourself in a balanced situation within yourself, within your personal relationships. so that you can make the right choices for yourself and the people around you. You're in the position of the star. So the Four of Wands and the star to me also are like hugely significant when it comes to soulmates. The position of the star means that you're trying very, very hard to water the earth, to water yourself, to make everything harmonious, like temperance. But you are also wishing and hoping for something that you feel deep down inside is like incredibly out of your reach. Like we can't touch the stars in the sky, right? And that's how I feel that your position is right now, that there's this like hope that you have, this faith that you have, but at the same time you can also feel that it's so like not within your grasp. But I'm telling you that it is. Spirit is telling you that it is. And all you have to do is realize that each day brings you closer and closer and closer to reaching that hope, that faith, that thing that you're holding out for. And the belief in yourself and the belief that you have the power to change your life in the ways that you wish to is paramount for you to develop within yourself if it hasn't been there. And to know that you are a very powerfully creative manifester, that you can create any reality that you wish to, that you're not stuck in anything that you have been in. We're in a time where we feel very stuck because we have to be at home and we have to be, with our family members that sometimes are driving us insane. And we have an opportunity, though. There's a gift inside of that we have to look very closely now. We have to slow down our lives and look very closely at the people, places, and things that have been choices of ours that we've made in our lives that brought us to this point. And we have to evaluate whether or not we want to make a different choice in our lives right now. So, that being said, with the star in this position, you are facing a great deal of I wonder if this is even possible. I wonder if I do this, if I go down this road, how will it turn out for me? Because you're at a point where you want to make significant changes in your life. You want to stop bickering with somebody in particular, competing, egos involved, highly flamed arguments. With all these wands here, so many arguments. And I know that you see that there is an ego or egos involved here that also need to be tempered, that need to be brought down and evaluated. The ego is an interesting concept. It's necessary in order for us to even experience this reality. The ego is the part of us that says, I am this. And that makes the connection to, I am my body, I am this kind of person, I am this or whatever. That's the ego. And it's necessary for us to even have an experience here in this physical reality. But it's like a house. The ego should be in the foundation of the house. It shouldn't be in every room of the house, in every layer of the house. So there's a lot here that speaks about you getting in touch with the more spiritual side of yourself, or helping those around you to get in touch with that more spiritual side, to get into the heart space more often instead of being in the ego. As there is a lot of that. There is a defensiveness going on. There is a lot of heartache, a lot of things that are wanting to be succeeded in your life that are being, I feel like are being like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like being sabotaged. I'm not liking that. I'm sorry. I'm on your team here. I'm not liking that. If that were to happen to me, I would be like, fuck you. So the Two of Swords in your environment. Let's talk about that. The Two of Swords, not wanting to see the choices that we have to make. Not wanting to make a choice at all. Wanting to stay blindfolded to the reality of situations that are no longer working. And not wanting to make a choice because I don't want to rupture my environment as it is. Because there is stability here. But there's also instability. And I think you're at a point where you're weighing what is heavier, the instability or the stability. Can I handle this a bit more, or do I do something about it? Do I stop to see it clearly for what it is? There is such, I don't know if this is a spirit guide of yours, somebody is talking to you in such a strong way. It could be a loved one that has passed over, somebody, I feel like it's a female though, and is saying to you, you need to take off the blindfold, girl, and look at your situation. You're not the only one suffering. And you have to make a move in order to eliminate not only your suffering, but the suffering of those around you. And you need to follow your heart because you're thinking too much in your head. This is all channeled, by the way. I don't know who this is. I'm something called claircognizant, where I just like get zapped with information in my head and I don't know where it's coming from, and it's certainly not my own voice. So whoever that was, they're being direct with you and saying that's what you have to do. There is a huge fear that you have with judgment here in the hopes and fears. That mixed with the star says you've been really wishing upon a star, really hoping for judgment to take place. Judgment is about opening up a new door and walking through into a new world, having a reawakening of some kind. It's basically, in the traditional tarot, it's like the angel is waking these people up from their graves. So they have a second chance at life again. Now, this also speaks of people from the past returning, or people from the past sort of hindering your moving forward with this new life that you want. There's like, it's like an evaluation or going over something again. It's going over a relationship, I feel, or an evaluation of it, and saying, okay, well, this doesn't work, and this doesn't work, and this doesn't work, and I have to get real with that. Judgment is real. The star is a little bit more of like, not reality, like fantasy fairy tale. But judgment is you getting real with it. So the combination thereof, you as the star, judgment in your hopes and fears, the star being about hopes, is saying to me that you're getting real with yourself right now. It's not only you, it's everything else. And I think you want to have this temperance, this sturdy foundation, this balancing in your life, and you've been craving it for so long. And now is the time. Now is the time for you. Because there's some things happening in your life right now, right this very second, that are no good for you, that are not healthy for you. The Ace of Swords being in your outcome, the outcome of all of this, is a brand new beginning. And that is a beautiful thing for me to report to you, that you do have the opportunity to be mentally clear, because there's these swords, the later swords in the suit of swords, like the 3 and the 5 and all that have come out here. So, by the way, sorry. The 5 of Swords was under the 3. So that's why, and it came out, well, the 5 of Cups came out before. So there's a lot of 5s showing up here. The 7s, the 5s, the 3s. any of the sword suits that come after the ace are mental anguish, usually. Some level of mental anguish. So the swords are not the best suit in the tarot. But the ace of swords being your outcome is cutting through indecision and deceit. It's cutting through the bullshit, cutting through down to the truth. The Ace of Swords wants the truth. The Ace of Swords is real. The Ace of Swords is an epiphany. It's an aha moment. It's, oh my God, light bulb went off. I didn't see it before and I see it clearly now. I know which puzzle pieces have to go together to make this picture. Pieces of the puzzle are coming together, Theresa, for you. Your ruthless determination is your outcome. And that being here with the Nine of Wands and the Knight of Wands, ruthless determination, action and mind focused. You are learning in your life right now how to wield a certain, like the power of your life, how to wield it and hold it in your hands and not be scared of it, not run away from it. You're looking for such clarity and you are finding it. That's the wonderful thing that I can tell you right now is there is so much coming through with that. So much clarity coming through in the way of this outcome here, but I do want more. It's funny. I want more clarity on the Ace of Swords, which is like so funny to say because the Ace of Swords is a very clear card. However, I am needing more clarity on the Ace of Swords as Theresa's outcome. Why is the Ace of Swords here? Spirit guides and angels, those aligned with source, love and light. Why is the Ace of Swords here as the outcome in Theresa's reading today? Ace of Swords. It's kind of funny that I'm asking. They're laughing at me too. The Page of Pentacles. So there's a child involved here. The motivation towards reaching this Ace of Swords in your outcome, there is a child in your environment, a male, possibly an earth sign, and could be a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn in your environment. But there is a son or a child that is involved in this situation that is your motivating factor towards getting things going, trying your hardest to figure things out and make things better for yourself. For sure there is. So I'm going to ask the Soul Trees Oracle. What more do we have to say to Theresa about this situation? What further insight do we have? What further messages do we have, Spirit Guides and Angels, for Theresa? Yeah, there's a lot of decisions you were making or trying to make. Also, I really think that you need a time out when it comes to doing a lot of things. I think that you keep your mind pretty stimulated, overstimulated perhaps sometimes. You're doing a lot. You're also thinking about a lot, but you're trying to keep things from going in a negative direction. Okay. integration. Oh my God, that goes with temperance, integrating. Resilience and believe. Woo! Live from your heart at the bottom of the deck, which is what I just said to you before. That is a beautiful card that I'm putting right over this Three of Swords, because fuck the Three of Swords. Fuck the heartache that you've been dealing with, okay? We don't need that anymore. There's a huge emphasis put on this integration card for me. That it is imperative that you figure out how to live a different life than you've been living, because it is hurting you. But also, you need some kind of stability with this outcome here for a child, a son, or a younger person, somebody that's in your environment. And you need to integrate because you need to be happy. Because if you're happy, then everybody else is happy. There's somebody that won't be happy, but that somebody is not really making life easier for you. And that's that Three of Swords coming through. Trying to make things work that no longer work is not getting you anywhere. But you are resilient. You are interested in healing yourself. And you know that you're able to do that. You know how strong you are. Resilient people can be put through a shitstorm over and over and over again and come out the other side and clean themselves off and carry on with their lives. And that is you. You are that person. You are asked to believe in yourself, to believe that life is not over for you, to believe that even though you've been through a certain season in your life, many, many years of your life being a certain way, you can have a different type of life moving forward. It's not over for you. It's not we choose one path and then that's it, and we have to just stay on that path and we can never change, we can never navigate, we can never go on a different route. That's not how it works. It is imperative that you believe that you have a voice, that you can change things, and that you don't need the permission of anybody else to do it. You're asked to not only live from your heart and choose what your heart is telling you to do and let that guide you, but also your third eye, your intuition. You're asked to believe that your intuition is golden and that it's never going to lead you astray. And that's the thing that's going to help guide you through this hurricane that you're in, because you're in a hurricane. It's behind you, it's above you, it's everywhere right now. But it's not going to be there forever, because the only thing constant in the world is change. And that's why a moment is just a moment, and it's going to pass just like every other moment before it. And no two moments are the same. They can stir up the same emotions, but they aren't the same. What further guidance do we have for Theresa? Spirit guides and angels. What further spirit messages do we have from Spirit, from the Earthbound Oracle? Thank you. Wealth, self, and fear. Oh man, there's even more messages. This is big. This is a big reading. I'm not gonna lie, this is a huge reading. Wealth. So, when you overcome the fear of moving on a different path and you start taking care of the self, yourself, you will experience wealth in every area of your life. Every single area of your life. And you could say, hey, I'm experiencing wealth right now. I'm cool. It's not just money. It's wealth everywhere. It's abundance everywhere. And you are afraid, just like this rabbit was running from these arrows, got hit. It's funny to me that the rabbit's eyes are still open. And I see this card and I say to myself, this rabbit is still fighting, even though it's been shot down. It's still in a gallop here, which means that there is this glimmer of hope, the star, belief, that you can overcome it. So even though the fear card is here, you're overcoming the fear. You're focusing on the self, the eye of the heart, the eye inside of the heart. Live from your heart. This card, live from your heart, with all the green. And there's a very deep green here. I don't know if it picks up on the camera, but this is a deep green. This is all about the heart chakra. Taking care of yourself by living from your heart. The eye, seeing things and people and situations in a heart, from the heart. Seeing yourself in that way, being loving to yourself. I don't know if you've been very loving towards yourself, but that needs to take place. There's this huge like purple emphasis, this sixth chakra, third eye, purple, speaking your truth with the blues here, speaking your truth, making sure that you understand your power and not letting any kind of regret or embarrassment or disappointment in yourself get in the way of the power, the personal power that's stronger within you, because it is stronger. It's definitely stronger. Your personal power outweighs your any kind of like what is it called? What's the word I'm looking for? Your I think it's one of the cards in here, and it's yellow. It's yellow. I'm trying to find it. I'm sorry. This word, it's the opposite of your power. It's kind of like guilt. I'm not finding it. I'm not finding it. I just saw it the other day, and now it's gone. This is going to frustrate me. I have to find this word. Oh, man. It's not guilt. It's not grief. It's like a feeling of dis-ease within the self. I can't think of the word, but if I find it, I will I'll write it to you in the message, in Messenger. So what other messages do we have for Theresa? What does Theresa need to know? Believing in herself, approaching life from the heart, living life from the heart, not living in fear, understanding that she is about to embark on a whole new journey where she is facing the truth, cutting through the bullshit, getting the truth, getting over this heartbreak and fighting in her environment, this lack of decision, growing with a person in her foundation that is supportive to her. Yeah, that's it. Shame. That's the word, shame. Instead of being empowered, shame is the opposite of empowerment. So getting rid of shame. Creation, enlightenment, and self-worth. Ooh, girl, are you on a journey? So Spirit is really wanting me to focus now on you. So we've talked about certain situations in your life, and we have spoken about you, but we really need to wrap it up by saying, if you do not understand that in order for you to live an active, healthy, successful, productive, joyful life, healthy life, it starts with you. And if you aren't doing the things that you need to do for yourself, if you aren't even asking for help, then you need to evaluate that. There's a lot of here on understanding that you are worthy of all of the beautiful things that life has to offer you. Still, you're not done yet. That there is a huge momentous occasion happening in your life. There's this like uphill battle, okay? It's going to be over. It's almost over. If that's within your wheelhouse to make that choice to have it be over, then it's over. You are reaching a certain aha moment with the enlightenment card here with the Ace of Swords. Enlightenment, aha. Oh, I didn't see this before. It's here. You're reaching a certain level of enlightenment because the things that you've been through in your life that you're currently still experiencing are offering you a great deal of growth. They're not for you anymore necessarily, but you learn something from them every single time you experience them. And you are in a creative mode. Creation is here. Bringing back to life the things that you have maybe put to the side. Focusing on the creative person that you are. Leos are very creative people. Very creative. And you are harnessing your own self-worth. You got the self-worth here card with the self card. These match up. I mean, these cards are, I shuffle very well. Self and self-worth. Seeing that you are capable of and worthy of sitting on your throne. The throne of your life. And you're worthy of happiness. And you're worthy of love. And you may have experienced some great disappointments in your life and letdowns. People leaving your life. People that are supposed to be there to support you. What that teaches you, if I'm looking at that from a spiritual standpoint, is those experiences sometimes happen not just because of this one reason. There's multiple reasons why, but the spiritual basis is for you to stand up on your own and lean on yourself for support. And learning how to do that is the ticket and the key to your happiness. It's something that I had to learn on my journey. To be my own everything. To be my own partner. To fall in love with myself, to date myself, to be my own best friend. All of those things. It sounds ridiculous, right? But it's the truth. I had to do it. I did it about almost 4 years ago. I started my journey, so I started very late in life. But I'm here now. And I wouldn't change any of it. I was supposed to go through what I went through in order to get to where I was going. And I have appreciation for all of it. I have appreciation for all of the roadblocks, for all of the people that I've met that didn't work out, but were there for a certain part of my life, and they were necessary in order to lead me where I was going. So if you can look at your life from that perspective and evaluate things in your life and understand and have the heart to say thank you to the things that annoy you, to say thank you to the people that disrupt your peace, to say thank you to the people that hurt you, to the people that have abandoned you, because each and every situation, each and every experience, each and every person has taught you about you. And you have had to reach down and pull out that inner strength that you would have never maybe had to do had you not had these experiences. You wouldn't have unlocked a key. You wouldn't have discovered certain parts of yourself had you not had these experiences. So it's important for us to always remember to thank them. Thank your former selves, all the former Theresas, for being who they are, because they've gotten you here. And you're heading towards a beautiful outcome, a beautiful life. So, just so you know, you're not alone. I'm here. If you have any questions for me, any follow-up questions, if I wasn't clear on anything, just let me know. And like I said, I'll answer your questions too, because I've been a little under the weather, so I'm going to get to those a little later. And I will have all of those answers for you. It's so fun to pass that back and forth. And now that we've done the reading, we can speak specifically with one another. You can answer the questions that you're asking me too, which is, I want to know. I want to know all about you. So let me know. And take your time, by the way. There's no rush on anything. I'm here. And I will be here to answer any and all of your questions and talk to you about anything, okay? You are made of love. You are love. Thank you so much for letting me serve you today on your journey. It's been an honor and a pleasure to give these messages to you. I hope that they serve you and serve your highest good to the best potential here. So, with that, I will speak to you soon. Bye, Theresa.